Senna. And if you have watched any amount of Contenders play, you have seen Captain Thrash. So we've got some exciting names that we're going to be watching as we go into Lijiang, and already some interesting different takes on what we're going to be doing first in terms of the meta.
Well, you know what, K-Wing? I refuse to be baited so early in this tournament already. Although Bastion has been kind of on the up and up in terms of their viability right now, so I wouldn't put it past them to pull that out. But I guess it depends on how hard Pristine Guardians want to run with this Junker Queen Bastion composition. Looks like we're gonna get a little Zarya coming out from MaDetho.
Yeah, I do like this Zarya pick, especially against the aggression that's going to be coming out from the Pristine Guardians, as already we're getting into a bit of a poke phase. The Sim TP coming out from the Pristine Guardians to get them right onto point. And now you just have to try, and if you're made to walk into this Junker Queen, walk into the shotgun blast, and it is a difficult job to do, as you've got the Bastion coming in at the long range, TP coming out to jump in, and Sledge already takes down Senna, and that's a big first pick and a fight win for the Pristine Guardians.
Yeah, beautiful opener there. I mean, the really good thing about playing on Bastion is if you can't aim, you can definitely shoot a lot of bullets in that approximately 8 seconds, but a Soulless with that early pick onto Captain Thrash is going to slow down the MaDetho's re-engage.
Yeah, I mean, that Lucio is going to be back very quickly, but just getting that early pick, and such a smart play here from the Pristine Guardians. They're rushing in and taking advantage of their 45. They're going to take out the tank, and this Junker Queen going incredibly well. The Pristine Guardians showing the former champs what for.
That's absolutely right. And the biggest issue that I'm looking at right now is I want to see Korra swap over to that Orisa. Because right now Orisa is the other one kind of in the meta right now, at least in terms of tanks, that are really going to provide a lot of power. I mean, getting up close to that Graviton Surge. So as we see, the Amp Matrix just totally denied.
Completely, and just walk through. The Pristine Guardians feel free to give a point as they just run over the backline of MaDetho, and I mean, that's all you can say.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much more that you can voice about it, as we're coming up onto the barrage of Senna. Going to be a good combo there if Korra can get up that Graviton Surge and group everyone up successfully. Ooh, but the miss and the boop gonna force them back.
The grab comes out, but it's on the front line, and Senna's off in the back line. They're completely split, so there's no combo there for MaDetho. They're just trying to put something together, but they have both these DPS ults. They have everything that they should need. The barrage gets through. Senna comes back with it. MaDetho is not out of this round just yet, but they're gonna need something bigger. Senna does get rezzed, and Offie is gonna take the last pick there. MaDetho aren't out of it just yet.
I do like a swap of Curse over to this Genji, and already has Dragon Blade online, ready and raring to go. Do see Monkey happy, though, living up to their namesake as they swap over to the Winston to try to take care of that mechanical ninja very, very quickly. I think the real concern is going to be Korra still on this Zarya and whether they're going to be able to hold the line.
Well, the Lucio going down early is a huge loss. MaDetho, the Genji, gonna throw out the blade. Not gonna find much, but it'll still be an early pick. It looks like Curse is going to swap off here. And the question is to what, and can they get back in time? They're gonna swap off to the Tracer, so they'll have the time to get back. Looking in at this next fight, not a lot of ults coming up for both of these teams, but you've got a big manual hack coming in, and there's the Amplification Matrix, one of the only ones that you have on the side of MaDetho. They're going to draw out a bit of a recontest, but I think finds a huge headshot on the Tracer, draws out the res. Point starting to flip over toward the side of the Pristine Guardians. but they're losing people. They need this Kitsune rush. They need it now, and it's going to absolutely let Monkey Happy go wild in the back line, going banana.
That is absolutely true. My apologies that I'm kind of missing some of the action. I was supposed to be running the behind-the-scenes stuff, so I'm having to go between both streams while also casting. But as we see Sledge on this Sombra, beautiful clean up there, and Pristine Guardians are looking to take it back.
They are, and they have so many ults to do it. They throw in the Pulse Bomb, they throw in the EMP, they throw in the Primal Rage, and they've just got all the picks. A really good ult rotation saves the Pristine Guardians, and they take round one just barely, taking victory from the jaws of defeat.
Absolutely. MaDetho definitely struggling a little bit, but hey, it's control very early on as we go ahead and move into the Gardens. Pristine Guardians showing that the Bastion is not the only thing that they can play, as we're already seeing a dive composition coming out from MaDetho. Cora coming out on this Wrecking Ball is going to be a very interesting composition to utilize, as we see Senna now going over to the Echo, which is going to have a lot more maneuverability, a lot higher damage power. But if Sledge stays on this Symmetra, which it looks like they won't, Sledge might actually be at a disadvantage against the beam of Senna.
Yeah, Senna's gonna have a lot of trouble, or he's gonna have a lot of free reign on this Echo to just go into the back line and wreak havoc, as the Pristine Guardians are just sort of sheltering in place like it's a darn tornado drill. You gotta get out there, sons. You gotta get out. You gotta get onto the point, as they're gonna quickly rotate. But Senna's gonna find an early pick onto Mellow during that rotation, and it'll be MaDetho just ready and raring to take down, to disrupt, and do exactly what this ball composition wants to do, as Cora, though, going to have their role disrupted, now trying to just stay alive using those adaptive shields to keep the health bar up and above 0. As trades coming in, you use your Kiriko from MaDetho. The Mercy's going to have to rotate, but you don't even have to care when Senna's firing on automatic, nearly getting up to the ult already, and getting MaDetho, keeping them alive, picking up a 3-piece, looking for more. Can you give us a few more, Senna? Gonna nearly get the 4th, but Cora will take it, and it looks like MaDetho will take it. It's just bit by bit, they're going to take it.
Yeah, can I just say, I feel really bad for Curse, who is essentially behind a Snotty Finger the whole time, just peppering away at them, and then Senna comes in and finally cleans up the elimination that they've been trying to get for a good, 15 seconds. That's hard on a Tracer, but, sometimes that's a job you do just enough so that the powerhouse DPS can take him right out, and Offie, able to get that first elimination, can slow down this Ruby test.
And there's the supports gone. MaDetho just focusing down the support perfectly, and Curse now just, must have taken some issue with you calling Senna the pop-off DPS. Curse said, I can pop off just the same, thank you.
Hey, I appreciate that. I barely got to 4 stars on the Tracer hero thing that they just put out. So anyone that can pop off on Tracer is definitely a pro in my book. You see the Reed test coming in for Pristine Guardians. It's going to be beautiful opener.
What a meaty shotgun shot from Monkey Happy, taking out the Kiriko and just running through MaDetho. The only thing you can say there is that you didn't use too many ultimates, whereas Pristine Guardians, they used 2 of their big ones with the Rampage and with the Kitsune Rush. So that's, the only consolation that you have from MaDetho is that you didn't over-invest.
So go ahead and see the continued utilization and hold from the Pristine Guardians, finally taking control of the EMP, able to find 1, but it looks like the eliminations aren't there. There's another Junker Queen on the field.
Yeah, there's 2 on the field now. The stick coming in onto the duplicate. Senna cannot get the Rampage. a great ultimate coming out from Mello to shut down MaDetho's push. Their big investment shut down. They're finding picks, though they take out Monkey Happy, but it might just not be enough. Senna would need to pull out something big here, and they're so low. Mello's gonna clean up and just clean out. That's 4 for Mello. Might even make it 5 with this pick onto Senna if they can get a late stagger.
We'll see what they can make happen indeed. As we see the continued growth of that EMP coming back up 50% and climbing, equal to the 50% Pristine Guardians currently have on the board. A little surprised that we're not seeing Cora swapping off this Wrecking Ball, but they've done relatively well staying away from Sledge. It's going to be making sure to keep that Sombra out of play as much as possible so that Wrecking Ball has room to breathe.
And there's the commanding shout, popped by the Junker Queen. The push in, but stays alive. The beat from Pristine Guardian is gonna let them stay up, stay alive, and might just seal them the deal. They have 3 ults coming into the next fight. Can MaDetho even answer?
Well, I mean, they do have 3 ultimates, make that 4 of their own as Curse is approaching that pulse bomb as well. It's going to have to be a very coordinated attack. That Kitsune Rush is going to have to be in a good position to help Senna be able to get up that charge. And it doesn't look like they're there in time.
Onto the Sombra! The EMP is gone, and the minefield finds the Tracer. Everything's coming up MaDetho, and they're able to keep themselves in it, but not a big investment from the Pristine Guardians. And MaDetho, I mean, they took everything to get that point.
That's true, and this is final fight territory now, with the only thing being a coalescence in the pocket. They really have to figure out how they're going to adjust things on the fly, especially with an EMP and the pulse bomb grabbing the only ultimate.
Oh my gosh, what a pulse bomb from Mello onto Captain Thrash. An incredible one, but Senna finds the pick on a Snotty Finger. The ults are coming out from Pristine Guardians. Senna would need something big, but can't find it. And it looks as though Pristine Guardians are coming into the brawl, and they are going to deliver a punch to the jaw of the champions. They have taken first blood.
Yeah, I mean, that stagger at the end, beautiful work there from Mello to be able to get that initial pick onto the Moira player of MaDetho to just keep them completely out of play. As we see, play of the game does go over to Cora. Beautiful minefield to try to hold on. And I mean, they got it to 99.99, but unfortunately, it looks like Pristine Guardians will go ahead and lock in that first point on the board, bringing them 1-0 in our series. But again, K-Wing, as we mentioned earlier, it is control. You know, that there's no guarantee as to this first map being how the whole thing is going to play out. So I say, you know, we see the Pristine Guardians are practiced up, they're warmed up, ready to go. Now let's see as we go into hybrid if MaDetho can fight back.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree that control is sometimes not a great indicator of two teams' matchup, but it's hard to really take that loss in a 1-2. I mean, we are at match point now. Pristine Guardians, they are 1 away from not just taking first blood on the champions, but upsetting, one might say, against them and really starting off this tournament with a bang. Just coming at the king, especially if you're going to take it 2-0, that is a powerful statement. That makes everyone know that, hey, this team, MaDetho, might have been the team to beat before, but now it's all us, baby. It's all Pristine Guardians. So they are looking to get a big upset. They're looking to absolutely destroy any hope that our wonderful team MaDetho might have. And MaDetho have selected their map. we're going to be going to the sunny streets of Paraíso.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm surprised based on what we saw run during the first map. Both teams are very good at their dive compositions. Might be seeing a little bit of Doomfist coming out to play here, especially with all the various walls to be able to punch people into. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we see more stable bunkerish compositions, like I had mentioned before. That Orisa, very powerful right now. That Bastion, as we saw, powerful in this current meta. Although there is a hot fix coming out. I don't know when it's supposed to be. I just barely saw it on Twitter that something was supposed to be coming out very soon to essentially put Bastion back in their place. But regardless, whichever direction they go, Paraíso is a beautiful place to go ahead and take us next to see if Pristine Guardians can already put that first dub on the board and relegate MaDetho to at very least second place, or MaDetho will go ahead and tie up the series and bring us to a map 3.
Yeah, I think what you were saying with the Orisa and the Bastion is interesting, because we did have the patch about like a week and a half ago that did get some nerfs onto our two favorite Omnics. Sorry, Zenyatta, but
I'm still mad about that one. Still mad.
But getting two nerfs to our two favorite Omnics in Orisa and Bastion, and we're still seeing the Bastion, especially surprising. But now we're going into some of the same ideas, some of the same compositions that we've seen for a while. We are seeing Pristine Guardians roll out on this Junker Queen composition, and we're seeing MaDetho on their Wrecking Ball. Is it going to be enough? Senna is on their trademark Soldier, but they're going to be going up against Mellow again and again as Pristine Guardians are creeping onto this high ground, just taking over like a virus, and they're already getting some good contests. They're not going to get the pick. They nearly take out Cora. Can't find it. The knife getting thrown, trying to land it onto the Kiriko, but cannot find Hater. And it's going to be the first pick going in. The Lucio falls, and so does Pristine Guardians, and they will not get that first point capture.
Yeah, beautiful way to start things off there. MaDetho had two in the pocket, but just could not finalize those to be able to hold on to the objective as well as one would love to see. Pristine Guardians having to look for that opportunity to be able to push in. And I mean, the biggest pick they're going to have to go for is Captain Crash, but you got to dive in pretty deep to be able to take out that on.
You do. I love the switch, though, onto the dive. The Junker Queen composition was really, really weak. It just could not rush in. But Monkey Happy is in the backline, finds the pick onto the Ana, but you lose everyone. You lose all your resources. You lose all your HP. And then you just get Curse coming in, sweeping it up.
Yes, as we go ahead and see Sledge on the Sombra already with the EMP almost ready and raring to go. It's going to be getting Cora out of that fight quickly to provide a lot of opportunity for them. And with Senna already down, things are going to be difficult to hold.
It's going to be incredibly difficult to hold. And you've got the Tac Visor, the Kitsune Rush coming in onto the point, ready to dish out an LMG's worth of aimbot. And it's going to just burst down the Wrecking Ball, burst down MaDetho and Pristine Guardians. It'll take them a little bit to get started, but they are clicking and rolling.
Go ahead and see the objective captured. That's going to bring us up to 4 minutes back on the clock. And the ultimates coming out here from Pristine Guardians are going to be enough to be able to continue to force them forward. Cora swapping over to the D.Va, looking to see if that Korean champion will be able to hold this line as they take the streets.
Yeah, it'll be really good with how tight this second point can be, but Mellow has found the pick on the Senna again. Senna going down early, once more might spell the doom of MaDetho. And that's another pick coming through. The Primal Rage to disrupt and to take out Diana. And it's all Pristine Guardians. They are snowballing through. And they might just be one fight away from getting this next point.
Well, they are definitely pushing on through well, but with the EMP immediately taken out, MaDetho is going to be holding on strong.
But the Kitsune Rush is onto Mello, and it's going to help them out so much. The Diva Bomb getting thrown into the front line. It'll take out the Lucio. Did it just Ajax the beat with the bomb? Oh my goodness.
So it did.
Goodness gracious. Oh, what a bomb from Cora.
Yeah, unfortunate timing there for Asolius. You hate when that happens. You think that you can get on the payload fast enough to like shortcut that beat, but the timing was just not in their favor. That's going to be a lost ultimate to them, but they still have the EMP and the tactical visor in tow. Pristine Guardians have 2 minutes to finish pushing it, literally less than 2 meters. I think it's more than possible, but it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a team hold second place.
Especially with the EMP and the tactical visor, Senna's gonna pop it early, but they're gonna just run into so much of the defense matrix. You just can't find a single solitary thing, as the EMP will run you right into Sledge. 2 picks for Sledge on the side of Pristine Guardians, making it 3, and gonna absolutely run wild through MaDetho.
Yeah, I mean that EMP is going to continue to be a thorn in in MaDetho's sides to be able to continue to force back Pristine Guardians. As you see already, Sledge in the back line, but a beautiful cleanse as Cora now swapping over to this Zarya is going to be able to stand tall against these hacks and this aggressive team.
Yeah, already the Kitsune Rush, tactical visor combo is gonna find the Baptiste, it's gonna find the Zarya. You got something more for us, Mello. Already just rolling through. MaDetho cannot find their footing.
Yeah, I think right there was just because of how they were separated. We did see Cora kind of rotating towards the main, but the rest of the team not really following them successfully, but they're trying to stay far enough back that Sledge can't get behind them, and it is incredibly difficult for them to be able to do so. As we see the 1v1 here, Captain Prash saying, I'm so tired of the Sombra in our backline, and will force the translocate.
Dana gets taken out, and there's the bomb in the backline. Monkey Happy's gonna take out the Immortality Field, gonna take out Curse with the Bunny Blaster, but will not get the chance to reconnect. It's gonna be the Kitsune Rush to keep MaDetho going, but they're still getting picked off. They lose their Kiriko, and a few more picks from the Pristine Guardians could send them all the way to completion, but they can't find it. Senna will find the headshot to seal the deal.
Go ahead and see them hold. Minute 15 remaining on the clock. Sledge coming up on that EMP once again and looking to try to take out Senna early on, but it looks like that's going to be enough for them to hold on. It's going to be EMP versus this tactical visor to see who ends up popping off hard.
I mean, I think if Snotty Fanga can get to this Kitsune Rush, we've seen just how deadly that combo can be. Pristine Guardians are coming up on so many of their ultimates. There goes the grab, but I don't see much of an impact. The EMP going wild. It's the beat. It's the tactical visor. It's everything from the Pristine Guardians to send them to the end of the map with 32 seconds left. I mean, Captain Jack, this is nothing more than incredibly surprising from the Pristine Guardians, currently in prime position to not just upset the defending champions, but to deliver an uppercut, a sure you can, if you will, to the defending champion. I'm using the theme.
Yes, I did pick up on that. Yeah, I appreciate that you know anything more about Street Fighter than I do, because I know very little other than what I've been doing to prep for this particular event. So, but yeah, Pristine Guardians are definitely popping off today. And remember, all of Group A finishes today. So MaDetho's only chance to get into the playoffs is to be able to turn things around. Now, 32 seconds, definitely not what you wanted to give Pristine Guardians. Ideally, you would have wanted to hold that line, but MaDetho is more than capable, as they've shown us thus far, of not only being able to hold the line, but being able to push that aggression. I think the biggest impact that they are having right now is that the Sledge is just constantly in their backline, constantly getting value for the discourse that they are sowing on this Sombra. And as we know from years of casting the Overwatch scene, the higher level you go, the better a Sombra is, the more disruptive that they can be to the best of teams.
Completely.
Oh!
And already, what a great escape from Sledge. Staying alive can be so crucial for these Sombras sometimes. But as we're pushing through, we're looking for this D.Va 1v1. We're looking for Cora to really come into their own. But there's the shot from Senna to take out the Brig on the side of the Pristine Guardians. And so now this Ana is vulnerable and the healing output is down. So the Guardians might just be in a spot of trouble.
That is true, but getting that early opening is exactly what they need. If they can get this objective quickly, that's going to bump them up to a good, pretty close to almost 6 seconds on the clock if they can hold. But with already the picks coming in, the D-Mech onto Cora, if they can get that mech back, it could work out.
The ante was huge there from Captain Crash, and just back and forth. Senna has been absolutely automatic on this sojourn and just took that point for the Guardians. What a dynamic duo. Captain Crash and Senna, two of the players that we were talking about, that we were saying these are the exciting players that you're gonna recognize. These are the name brands. They are performing. They are coming out to play.
And I do appreciate Curse going over to this Tracer, because not only is it going to be good for kind of helping scout out the back line of where Sledge is, but also with Tracer's speed, they're going to be able to chase down wherever that Sombra is and get them as hopefully soon after they translocate. But the Pulse opening it up, taking the Brig out of the fight.
That's a great start. A cheap ult used to take out one of the fundamental players of the Pristine Guardians. The Soldier will fall soon after, and even one pick won't be enough to stop him, but they're gonna take another. They're gonna lose that Kiriko, and that's a big loss. What a sleep from Captain Crash, but they can't find the pick onto the Sombra. They still can't find Sledge. The thorn in their side even still. And now it's a brawl on the point. Curse will find the next pick to open it up. Looking for more, looking to take out this Brig. Nearly charged up to another Pulse Bomb. Sees the Ana, looking for them, but just getting zoned away by the Brig. Big shot from center, returning from spawn. And it's just the Tracer of MaDetho pushing it through, even despite themselves.
Yeah, go ahead and see them pushing into Objective Bravo. The EMP from Sledge, looking to see if they can try to get anything in return to try to push them back, but it's not going to be enough when you see Mello already off the field. They're going to have to invest every ultimate they have to be able to hold this line, because MaDetho is going to be running into Point Charlie with quite a bit of time on the clock if they know.
And they already picked the Brig. Their D.Va's gone. It's just the Tracer. They're just playing so economical. They disengage and come right back with overwhelming force. And MaDetho has an incredible time bank, looking to overwhelm, saying that the champs aren't out of the fight yet. 4 minutes on the clock, Captain Jack.
Yes, and with 4 minutes on the clock, MaDetho is doing well to set themselves up for success here as they continue to push their way on in. it's going to be up to Pristine Guardians to really kind of change the pace at which they're moving. I like Sledge swapping over to the Genji, providing a little bit more support there. And with the Nano being invested, I mean, Korra already had Bomb. I'm kind of interested as to why that investment was done so early. They may want that Nano back here in a minute.
They might, but they're gonna get that early pick. Senna finding the pick on the Monkey Happy. And so now Korra is ready and raring to just take this position, take the high ground. And MaDetho, they've got the ult, they've got everything they need.
As we go ahead and see them continuing to aggress on in with just about 3 minutes, yeah, I believe 3 minutes, having a little bit of lag on my end, but that's okay. Pushing on into final objective. They're looking for that opportunity, but Pristine Guardians are continuing to build up those ultimates and are ready for a full-on defense.
You're trying here, but Senna's finding the early pick. That's a good pick. Taking out Offie is what they need exactly. They just need to survive a little longer. Get up to those 3 big ults. They're coming up to Snotty Finger. There's the bomb in the backline. It takes out the soldier. Melo's gone. They don't have the consistent damage of the soldier ult. They're gonna have to wait for it, but the Kitsune Rush needs to be invested now. The rampage into the backline. The picks need to come, Jack, but they're coming the wrong way. They're going the way of MaDetho, even though they drop in so many ults, everything but the kitchen sink. They still can't find a single darn speck of blue. They find those Kiriko. That could be the turnaround, but Snotty Finger gets picked off once again. As soon as Pristine Guardians take an inch, MaDetho has taken a mile. But finally, the spawns overwhelm them.
Yeah, the unfortunate part, or fortunate or unfortunate, depending on who you're rooting for, is that the defense will always have a little bit of an advantage of being so close to the final objective point. As we see Captain Fresh with this Nano online, Korra now swapping back over to the Wrecking Ball, looking to cause some disruption, already pushing them off the point. We might see a Hamster 9 if Pristine Guardians aren't careful.
And Korra getting the Nano is ready and raring to just throw themselves into the back line like the basketball they so resemble. Sledge gone. That's a good first pick in the pulse bomb, but the Lucio jumps in, takes out Curse with their own pulse bomb. An incredible play, but it's not gonna win you games. What's gonna win you games is some great tactical play, which we are seeing in spades from MaDetho, and that's gonna get them this round. They'll push through, but the staggers will come through so incredibly much, but it will only be for so long before we have just a little bit of an advantage for MaDetho. But even those few seconds are so incredibly important when we talk about who attacks first and who defends.
Well, I mean, the biggest difference in this as well, K-Wing, is the fact that Pristine Guardian had such a difficult time pushing into first objective. That is going to be the biggest issue in being able to get past first objective. They had such a struggle in doing so, and they only have a minute this time around. It's not going to be enough to earn up a full set of ultimates to make that full push like they did the first time. They're going to have to look for those opening picks that are going to help them out. MaDetho, on the other hand, they steamrolled through first point. What barely was a contest with the picks that they were able to get. So the first part that each team needs to look at right now is their ability to get past first. Everything that you do after that point is just gravy. But if you cannot figure out how to be able to get past that first point within that first minute that you have, then it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's going to be setting that line in the sand that MaDetho can easily cross over based on previous experience.
3, 2, 1.
Completely. And now what could decide this entire game, this round, this attack from the Pristine Guardians, they need a successful dive from Monkey Happy here. If Captain Crash goes down early, then it is all gravy for the Pristine Guardians. But if Captain Crash is allowed to live for too long, one sleep onto MaDetho, but Offie's the one that gets taken down first. A huge pick on the support, and now Captain Thrash is alone. Only the Diva there to stand guard, to hold the line, but they can't push any further. They cannot fight it. They're going to get a first tick. They're going to pick up a second, and with a pick onto Curse, with the ability to chase out and beat back any contesters, not only will the Guardians take first point, they will be in great position, pristine condition, if you will, to push even further and start a snowball.
That's true. That was the big opener that they needed right there, but they have to remember it's overtime now, that no one can step off of that, or at very least one person from their team cannot step off of that objective. And the way that our defending champs have been thus far in the tournament has been showing that point gets cleared quite a few times. So it's going to have to be push, aggression coming out from the Pristine Guardians if they want to hold this line.
And they do, and they have a huge first pick. They take out the Tracer. A really great attack from MaDetho. They have the Kitsune Rush as well. No Pulse Bomb on the side of MaDetho. And there's the Kitsune Rush, a huge hack coming in onto the Wrecking Ball. Monkey Happy's gone. This EMP needs to come out from the Guardians. They need to stay alive. It does get all four, and the beat will come out to try and keep this possible for the Guardians, but the Lucio goes down. The Sombra soon after. The Tracer next. And there is the end of round 3. 64 or 84 meters for Pristine Guardians. Not definitely surmountable for MaDetho, but definitely defendable for the Guardians. It's all up to those Guardians to see if they can keep the upset alive.
That is absolutely true, K-Wing. And I mean, it is just beautiful work from both of these teams, really showing that they are bringing their all to this particular tournament. As we see them preparing for this attack, we really have to take the time to see what strategy they're going to be able to utilize to be able to push in here. Cora looking to come out on that Wrecking Ball once again, which is going to be a huge boon to the team if they can hold it all together. If not, it could end up being once again their downfall should they not be able to hold this line. Pristine Guardians looking to bring Mello back out on that. Soldier, was doing really good at the defense, but you just gotta watch out for Curse getting into that backline and being able to get those early picks. Solius coming in on that Lucio is going to be a great way to be able to not only give them the speed they need to be able to avoid any quick backline picks, but is also going to be providing a lot of AoE healing that, as long as the team is staying relatively together, can be incredibly useful.
And now a minute left to decide if MaDetho's first match continues or if it will end right here. This one fight could decide whether or not they have the ability to stay in first place, as Melon's gonna take themselves out with their own Helix rocket. No way! That's devastating for the Guardians. This is their defense. Melon has to switch onto the Tracer just to get back faster, and the Tracer of MaDetho is in their backline. They're in your walls, Pristine Guardians. You're falling apart now, and what could have been a triumphant defense has now become a comedy of errors, Captain Jack. It's just all falling apart, and the staggers are devastating. If they can't get something together, they can't get picks, they're just gonna fall apart, and they might not even have the time to get a good defense in on second point. It's just not looking good for the Guardians. What was a simple mistake has now turned into a map losing goof. This could be devastation for the Guardians.
That's true, but at very least they ran out the clock. That's exactly what they needed to do. That was a huge stagger for the Guardians to be able to hold on to, but making it so that MaDetho had 0 time to be able to continue to defend is exactly what they need. Because you know that Korra and Curse, they're not going to be staying near the objective. So at very least, if they are able to take them off that point, negate whatever ultimates they're able to utilize here, this could end up spelling success for the Pristine Guardians.
My fear, though, is MaDetho has almost all 5 of their ults. They're coming in very, very quickly. So the Guardians, they need something big. They need to use their ults really quickly. Otherwise, they might just fall to pieces. Senna gets the nano. Everything's going wrong. Senna's going to find 2 picks. And the reigning champions do not go softly into that quiet night. They will be fighting till the last bitter starlight.
And that's a good position for them to be in as well. I mean, like I said, it was a little bit of a rough start for them to be able to get that first map under their belt. But hey, sometimes you just need that warm-up match to be able to get you going. As we go ahead and see things tied up, that means we're going to the brand new game mode, or at least comparatively, the brand new game mode Flashpoint. To see which of these 2 teams are going to be able to hold on to this victory.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you were talking about control and how, sometimes it might not be as representative of a team's skill, but I mean, Flashpoint was added but a few months ago. So theory crafting is still in an incredibly infantile stage right now. So I think that there's a lot of surprises that are waiting for us at our Flashpoint map, and we only do have 2 Flashpoint maps. You really only do have Saravasa and New Junk City, so the question is, where will we see this crazy train go next?
Yeah, that is a really good question, K-Wing. I mean, personally, based on the dives that we've seen from these 2 teams, I would anticipate New Junk City, as our producer is just now letting us know. But hey, yeah, kitty. Say hi, Vexeldan. Little snapper sneaking in while my wife was coming in. But nevertheless, New Junk City is a very open area for them to work in, and pretty much the perfect place for them to be in terms of their ability to utilize these dive compositions that these teams have really been dedicated on being able to kind of advance and speed through, especially with the way that Flashpoint is played. Even with the fastest compositions in the game, you can only get about 2 fights on the objective before the objective is fully captured. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's a total of like 6 or 7 fights, depending on where you're able to catch them and whatnot. But regardless, it is definitely a, what's the word I'm looking for? It is definitely a boon or bust kind of situation. You either you can run that dive composition, but if you can't hold on to the objective, that doesn't really help you out much. If you run more of like a brawly in-your-face composition that's able to stand the test of time, it's going to be a lot slower, but you might be able to hold on to the objective once you claim it.
We'll have to see, and I mean, just how you're talking, I mean, you can tell that there's a lot of different ideas. There's a lot of different philosophies. It's not the way that
a lot of nuance.
It is a lot of nuance. It's, I think, the most complex map format that we have currently, and it is the youngest map format that we have. So we're not. And welcome back. We are through our bit of technical difficulties for the night. Knocking on wood there, but hopefully we can get this all sorted out and come on in. We're going back to New Junk City. We have reset and restarted. So as the doors get open, we travel toward Arena. We have the same comps, same ideas, second verse, same as the first, but a whole lot louder and a whole lot more stakes for all of these teams as they ring around the rosy, trying to find some advantage, trying to jump onto the other team's back line. But some interesting maneuvers from this wrecking ball of MaDetho, trying to take it in as the flashpoint going to be unlocked. And the Guardian's going to go way more aggressive in, taking out the Lucio of MaDetho. And the push will finally satiate them. 2 kills for the Junker Queen. And flashpoint A unlocked for Team Pristine Guardians.
Yeah, Captain Prash getting a little overeager, was trying to contest the objective there, but Monkey Happy was there, axe in hand, ready to draw blood. And without that little addition of speed was going to make things difficult. Pristine Guardians now being able to keep the tide in their favor. Not exactly for certain why we saw Cora charge in there without the rest of the team, but they're going to go ahead and pull back now as we see that percentage continuing to climb. We do see MaDetho now swapping over to the Zarya to see if that'll provide a little bit more protection and cleansing from all these amazing hacks.
I mean, the picks are coming in so immediately for the side of Pristine Guardians that they just have... There's one more fight until the point goes the way of MaDetho. So now for this last fight, you're looking for some big plays from Senna with his ultimate, looking for some picks, looking to find the heads of a DPS player or a support. They need something, but otherwise this overtime wave will be burning down mighty quick as MaDetho will find the first pick. Monkey Happy gonna go down, both tanks gone, and Senna gets taken out. The ult will get them nowhere, and the Pristine Guardians will roll through, retake the flashpoint, and we'll move on to our second point, and we'll have to see what that is.
That's true. Should be moving us closer to the MaDetho side. That's usually the trend. But whether or not we'll be heading to Bomb Flats or the refinery will be the choice of. Actually,
Going to the
wow.
junkyard.
Yeah, okay. I thought that it was defaulted a little bit in favor of whoever ended up losing the last point, but apparently I don't know anything about this game mode, so we're heading to the junkyard instead. And with Cora swapping over to this Orisa, hopefully that will provide exactly what they need. Senna also coming out on the Bastion. First time we've seen them play this out tonight.
Yeah, first time, but there's already the ult advantage coming in for the Guardians. They use this Kitsune Rush immediately, which is going to be the bomb. Finding the pick onto Kiriko, and Snotty Finga is going to get taken down. Take a tissue, my man.
Yeah, I was about ready to say somebody handed MaDetho some Kleenex so that they could be able to clean up that objective and get it into their control. Pristine Guardians not even able to grab the point just yet. Sledge and Mellow, though, have their ultimates online. Soleus also having that sound barrier in the pocket if need be, especially with Cora being so close to that Terra Surge. That is going to be the opener that they will need to get rid of if they want to hold on to this objective.
Oh, Cora's going to get taken out immediately. Pristine Guardians will just run them over like a semi. And really great from Snotty Finga cleaning up the Bastion and going to take this point for the Guardians.
Well, you know, it is the change in the season, so I definitely do expect a little bit of allergies coming in from Pristine Guardians to keep things going in their favor. But Cora, once again, getting ready to come up on that Terra Surge. Pristine Guardians not having to invest anything to be able to take that point. I'm honestly not for certain why MaDetho pulled back so far, but here comes the Terra Surge, not able to find its target.
But they're gonna send a pick onto the Junker Queen. The Orisa goes off to the side. An insanely goofy series of events. So, I mean, Can
you tell not everyone's used to New Junk City yet? They're just walking off the map, forgetting that there's an edge there. I feel that K-Wing has stood up and is taking a lap right now because it is still a relatively new map, so I don't blame folks for walking off the edge. You know, you gotta get used to that, especially if you're playing so high pace. But with that EMP finding 3, that might be the opener they need to take it back.
That it could be, and really great here from Senna finding that opening pick onto Monkey Happy, and the flashpoint gonna go there, and you'll have some good you're gonna have an attack on it looks like Refinery for point C. So Pristine Guardian's going to again get the advantage and arrive there first. But MaDetho, now onto this Orisa, has been doing some great work. They have that advantage. They have those ults to come in, the Kitsune Rush, and the Rampage to run right through MaDetho. And that's the Orisa gone. And MaDetho will fall soon after. They'll take a pick onto Sledge, but it seems like MaDetho might be losing the HP battle here. Pick going to go, or points going to go the way of the Guardians, so they'll charge up throughout this fight as just MaDetho sticking it in there. Are they going to try and stick it out? Monkey Happy and Senna both going to fall simultaneously. A good pulse bomb from Mello to keep Pristine Guardians even up, but Mello will get taken out, and finally MaDetho will run right back onto point.
Yeah, what an incredible play. Great job there from Captain Prash and Offie. Well, really on the back of Offie there to be able to keep Senna in that fight, because I believe Captain Prash ran back to try to grab Korra and get them back to the objective a little bit faster. So being able to keep that Bastion in play for as long as you did, even with the equality of taking Monkey Happy out despite falling, it was just enough to be able to not only tie them up, but give them the lead here on Point Charlie.
Yeah, and now they have a big advantage.
Oh!
Comes in immediate from Sledge. No damage will come from the Terra Surge today. And there's the beat from the Guardians, already looking to shut them down. Both beats from both Lucios. MaDetho is going to come a bit later, just charging up the percentage on this flashpoint, looking to take the lead, looking to go 2-1, and looking to take this match. It's so close. It's always going to go down. There's the picks onto the supports, rushes through the Rampage from Pristine. Monkey Happy just actually might have saved that. That was a huge Rampage. It got everyone, and somehow, some way, the Guardians keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like initially they were going to end up losing that point, K-Wing, but as you said, with a beautifully timed Rampage, Sledge was looking like they were just going to hold on to that EMP, but since the Rampage was used to push everyone back, it grouped everyone up just in the right place for Sledge to be able to get that 4-man, and the cleanup was fast and fierce. And now we're heading into last fight territory here at the Refinery. Let's see if MaDetho can push back in.
And it's an immediate pick onto the Bastion from Sledge. Pristine Guardians not looking to keep this going, looking to take this match. There's the stick onto the Orisa, but the gold is there, the Fortify, and the supports fall. And this will be the Refinery going the way. Well, I say that, Monkey Happy is going to go down. MaDetho might not be out of this yet, but with Mello, you gotta count them out. So last one more flashpoint needed for the Pristine Guardians, but it is all the way across the stage.
Yeah, Pristine Guardians definitely going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but MaDetho more so in the long run as they go ahead and make their way to the bomb flats. They'll be able to, contest this objective quite well, but it's going to be that final point. The Ducks so far away from MaDetho. It's going to give all the advantage to Pristine Guardians. They're going to have to stagger out those ultimates and make sure that they're making coordinated strikes to keep Pristine Guardians off their back.
And to keep them at bay, they can't go this far just to lose it now, as the beat's going to come in from both of these Lucios. on his final, what could be final flashpoint. Pristine Guardians are finding the picks with the Tracer finding 2, and that'll seal the deal, and these ults are going to be absolutely devastating for this next fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much right now from MaDetho from Pristine Guardians being invested to take Senna out of this fight. They're getting so much value right now as we see Offie now swapping over to the Baptiste to try to see if that immortality field and that AoE healing can be able to keep the team in health's way. And it looks like that's going to be a quick flip on the point without even a fight.
Yeah, an incredibly quick flip, and the Pristine Guardians are nowhere to be found. They're going to be trying to re-engage quickly, but that flip is going to be devastating as the push coming in onto the Bastion ultimate. What a smart javelin spin coming out from Torres. There's the Rampage going to catch multiple people, and the Pristine Guardians with some smart ult usage and some amazing Tracer play. Mello picking up a 3-piece right at the end will take that point right back.
Yeah, but with only the Pulse Bomb in the pocket, there's not going to be a lot that they can do to defend other than their mechanical skill. Whereas Korra and Curse being able to combine that Terra Surge and the Pulse Bomb could be enough to easily retake that point. But remember, they have to be careful and try to hold on to ultimates where they can as well, because as they head to that final objective, it is going to be too far away. But I guess you got to take each point at a time.
That you do, and now the push coming in, just a few more percentage for the Pristine Guardians. There's the Terra Surge drop, kick onto the Lucio. Mello goes down, and 2 great ults to keep MaDetho in it.
Can I just say how incredibly impressive it is that Offie had like a fight and a half and already had Amplification Matrix? Like, I know that they pulled over 25% from their previous hero, but to build up 75% so quickly when you're already behind everyone else, that is a testament to how well these supports are playing on MaDetho. Sound barrier coming in for MaDetho there from Captain Prash. Snotty Finger with the Kitsune Rush to provide some extra damage. It's going to be up to Sledge to see if they can get that well-earned hack in place.
The Kitsune Rush coming out. Usually you see Kitsune Rush win out over Beat, but it's the first pick coming in onto Monkey Happy. Can the Guardians find something more, find something to push them over the finish line? The turret form from Senna looking to dish out all the damage that they can. The Orisa takes out the Lucio, and it's just MaDetho keeping themselves alive time and time again. On the brink, they stay the course.
Yeah, but right now, Pristine Guardians have all the advantage. That is going to be the hardest part of this. Not only do they have close spawn, they have almost 4 out of 5 ultimates in the pocket, a pulse bomb, and a artillery barrage getting ready to come online for MaDetho, which honestly, with such a quick composition that Pristine Guardians have, not going to be doing much with that artillery barrage unless you can get that Terra Surge back up in line. But the EMP opens it up, and it's a quick clean.
The EMP is dynamite for the Pristine Guardians. And MaDetho, I mean, this first flashpoint, they need to start building up their ults, and they'll have something for next fight. This next fight, I tell you this, Jack, this next fight is going to decide the fate of this match. I can't say this. There's so many ults that whatever team wins this is going to have such a control over the next few fights, they'll win it outright.
That is true. Offie and Korra getting ready to come up on their ultimates as well. We'll have to see if they can create the space long enough to be able to sustain on this objective and not allow Pristine Guardians to build up theirs as well. Pushing down onto the point, Amplification Matrix looking to hold everything together as we see the Terra Surge cleanse.
Pulse Bomb as well. 2 picks coming in from MaDetho, evened up. The Rampage rolling through it, only finds a pick on the Crash. They will get taken down. Sledge staying alive with just a sliver of HP. They stay in the game, and they take out the Baptiste. A light breeze could have taken out Sledge, but the Pristine Guardians stay upright, and they hold strong. They hold the line, and they take a victory against the defending champion.
Snotty Finger coming out with a play of the game, and definitely well deserved in the way that these teams have been playing. And K-Wing, this is our first match of this whole tournament, not only going the distance here, but by my understanding and following the other match that's going on our on Cofundus's sister stream, is also going the entire limit on their end as well. So if we're already seeing these closely competitive teams just absolutely duking it out amongst one another, I cannot even begin to think. Well, I mean, I know of the other teams that we'll be seeing this week. We'll be seeing Timeless. We'll be seeing Shikigami. I mean, lots of well-known names, lots of well-known players, and this is just only the tip of the iceberg, my friends, as to the amazing skill that is going to be coming to the table.
Completely right. And I'm so excited to keep going with this because, like you said, we have so many more matches. We have 2 more tonight. Oh my goodness. I need to get my roommate some apology chocolates because I was like, it'll be a short day.
Yeah, well,
and
if you're going to cast a curse it like that, K-Wing, then it's well deserved that we're going all the way. You know better. All these years, you should know better.
I shouldn't I?
Yeah. Well, we're going to send it to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be heading into our next match for the Pristine Guardians to see if they can continue to keep this streak alive. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Atlas action in just a few moments.
Raised by the savages, know you couldn't handle this. Everyone who battled me, they falling like an avalanche. Got them falling back to back. Take them all just hand in hand. Y'all going home, so better pack your bags. I'm a heavy hitter, come take a sip of this potion. It float like a butterfly, I'm floating like the ocean. Battle cries of music to my ears, I'm the composer. Y'all can never hurt me, got you wilting like the roses.
Yeah, let me look for it.
Yeah, where is it? Because I don't.
Yeah,